How you doing? Yeah, again, this is your boy Sam Josh. It's another bright day. We thank God for another day. You're breathing, you're in good health. It's a privilege. We thank God. If you woke up and you're breathing and you don't have anywhere aching you, man, you should thank God. Because somebody somewhere can't breathe this air you're breathing. Out there. So if you're able to breathe natural and you're able to see this bright day and see nature, see God's world, you should thank God. You'll never know the value of something until you are in the hospital, man. When you're in there, you cannot even come out, especially if you're sick. Like you see the sun through the window, because you are not in your best moment. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's not an easy journey. So today I'm going to talk about the challenges we get here in America. So, everybody want to come to America. Everybody admire this country, and it's the way, is advertised, and it's the way Hollywood portrays things like that, and everybody think life is like that in America. But believe me, if you're on the ground, things are different. So I've been here for a while, so at least I understand the system now. I see the challenges people go through. So what I'm gonna discuss about today is the challenges of getting old and you don't have family. A lot of people out there, they want to have fun, yeah, you're young, oh, I don't want to have children, oh, children is this and that. Believe me, it catches up with you. And it's tough. When you need help, nobody is to help you. So I've seen a bunch of challenges here, whereby people are sick and they don't have their loved one, to help them, at this lowest moment. So you find sometimes, it's just the system takes care of you. And when the system takes care of you, sometimes like hospital, you can't stay in the hospital forever. So they have a deadline where they will have to discharge you. So the challenge is, sometimes they will just throw you in a nursing home over there or somewhere, and you guys out there, your families in America, or somebody is not talking, you haven't heard from somebody, Believe me, keep in touch, be checking on your people or your loved ones, because I've seen people getting lost here, man. Like, it's crazy. Like somebody, for example, I've seen this situation. This guy was coming from Africa, and I think things were not that good with his family. So, I think he came here when he was younger, and he abandoned the family out there in Africa. And for 9 years, he had, I think, 3 children. So, poor woman took care of the kids alone. And, when he was coming back, I think he went to Africa. He was seeing another mistress again. I don't know, So when he was coming back, what happened is he had a stroke, man. And the worst part, that stroke hit the side of speech. So you can imagine. So they had to take him to the nearest hospital. So the hospital they took care of him, because they don't have, he don't have a loved one. They could not trace the family member. They ended up throwing him in a nursing home, and he was only 40s. So he went to nursing home. They could not trace the family. He just stayed up to now. Disappeared, got lost, and that is somebody's child, So it's sad, very, very sad. So what I'm urging people, if you are young in your 20s or whatever, don't ever say that you don't want to have children, man. There's a reason why we have to reproduce and keep on going. It's tough because it's not easy as you age, man, without a family member. Yeah, so if you have a loved one out there, you don't know, you haven't heard from him, it's good to be checking out because you never know. Yeah, another situation, I saw this guy was from another part of Africa. I'm not going to disclose. This guy, I think language barrier and staying here for a long time. I don't know what happened to his mindset. Man, he could not communicate, you know. He didn't know English. I think he used to work in a car wash. So what happened is, also he didn't have loved ones, man. He was sick, and you know, hospital, they have a certain window they throw you. I mean, you have to be there for a certain period of time, and after that, you know, they have to discharge you. Either in, you know, if you have the loved ones, most of the time they would refer you, either you go home or in an acute care or a long-term care, you know. So yeah, hospital is organized, but they have to, you know, it's all about money, you know. They have to push you forward to another place. So this guy was discharged to long-term care, and that's where he met us. At the time I was working there, he could not speak. He was speaking only French, so his brain was messed up a little bit. He was young, 40s again. Man, he could not even stay to where he's from. You look good though. He walk and he like, but the challenge is every time he said he want to go home, and nobody knew home where his home was, man, up to now. So even one time he planned to escape, you know. And you know, once they brought you into a system like a rehab or long-term care facility, there are rules over there. You know, you have to abide by the rules over there. So you are taken like a sick person, so you'll be given all these crazy meds, man, psych meds, and you, in the end, you adapt and you become like a psycho. So when you're trying, you know, when you come to your senses sometimes and you are like, you wanna go back home, so they think you wanna escape. So they ended up maybe sometimes even, you know, prescribe more medicine because they think your behavior is increasing, you know. And in the end, you lose somebody like that, and until he dies, and boom, the government will, you know, they will call these nursing home, funeral homes will come and take the person, and who knows where they go. Or sometimes they harvest body organs since you don't have loved ones. And is what I'm trying to say is sad. If you don't have a loved one in America, it's very, very, very tricky, you know. Another situation I had the other day, this young lady was working so hard, nobody knows what happened, you know. At least for her, she used to call back home and check, you know, people checking on her and you know, communicate. So what happened, I think people back home, they didn't hear of her for a while, so they ended up calling. At least they knew where she lives. You know, also another thing, is always good to state where you live, your address. If it's a landlord, just in case of emergency, they can always reach out and find out, you know. So luckily they had all the contacts of this young lady. So they called, they haven't heard from her for almost a week. So they ended up calling a landlord, and the landlord, they asked the landlord, hey, how about you go check on, you know, our daughter, blah, blah, blah name, because we haven't heard from her. So they ended up over there, and guess what? Because landlord always have extra keys. They found the body just right there. She died long time, you know. So when they tried to trace work, when was the last time she was at work, they thought she called off. They've been trying, you know. It's a lot of mess, man. So it's tough, you know. I've seen family, some of them, they bring them, today I'm not talking about that, they bring them home and throw the nursing homes and throw their loved ones over there, you know. In life, I realize the older you get, the young ones see you as a liability. So especially if you don't have good chemistry with your children, is another challenge here, you know, because I've seen some children, due to bad relationship, some people, you know, we have different personality. Some people, they don't let things go, you know. They will punish you, you know, they let you go. I've seen somebody who was abandoned again by the children in a nursing home. this guy, I think during their prime, he was this guy lover, and I think in his relationship he cheated and things like that. And you know, children in America, they take it so serious, and they are unforgiving, majority of them who are brought here. You know, the difference I notice, you know, some immigrants, they're forgiving, you know, because of the system, how we grew up. We fear our parents and we respect our parents regardless. So sometimes we're empathetic, but some of the children who are born here, they're non-empathetic, man. So this guy, who worked in the army and things like that, I think he had issue with health, and from the hospital, as I told you, they referred him to nursing home, long-term care facility, and through there, you know what happened. He stayed there for some years, almost 4 or 5 years, without nobody contacting and reaching out to see how he's doing. And along the way, you know, his complication started getting worse because of stress. You know, we tried to reach out to his family. It was hard, and the family like, well, you guys do whatever you want to do. And he died, and you know, as protocol, you know, you call, and there's a way for people like that, the system take care of people like that. And he died, and he had like 4 children. None of them ever visited this man for 5 years. So, you know, it's so sad, you know, how we treat our parents, you know. Sometimes I know, you know, they've made mistakes, but be loose a little bit, you know. I mean, don't let them like that, man, you know, die with no dignity, you know, or not taking care of them like that, you know. Do what you can, at least be checking. And also, family out there, if you have a loved one in America or abroad, anywhere, always be checking on them, because they're way far from you. You don't know how they're doing, and you never know. So always be checking on your loved ones, because things are tough here, you know, and it's not an easy journey here. Yeah, so I say let me share with you guys. And if you're young, you know, even in your 20s something, you know, always reconsider of having a family, you know. For those who are unable to bear, you know, family, I understand, you know, not everybody is able to bear, but there's always a alternative, you know, either adopting, or I mean, if you have brother and sibling, put that bond, you know. Yeah, because we are all in this world. We should take care of each other, and we should be checking on each other. Yeah, things can be challenging here, you know. Yeah, so if you have somebody in America, you haven't heard from them, never assume you think they went and forget you guys. Sometimes it's not the case, okay? Yeah, so I say, you know, let me share with you guys. So if you're new to my channel, I'll be sharing other things, the challenges you never knew about in America. So my name is Sam Josh. Continue subscribing, and I'll be sharing more and more to come, because there's a lot you people don't know about here. Otherwise, thank you if you've been with me up to here, okay? All right, don't forget to support your boy Sam Josh and subscribe.